Good morning and welcome, everyone. This is the 1 Million Cups podcast for the community, by the community. My name is Deion Wells-Ross, and I have the privilege of being the host today. I'm with my guy, Sam. Sam, what's up, man?
How's it going? How's it going? Good to see you.
Good.
Glad to talk today, and thanks for being here.
Yeah,
Looking forward to
absolutely.
talking.
By the way, we did not plan the jean jacket. It was just on accident, but
Just matching, just with the trends, looking
Right.
good, looking sharp.
for sure. Well, Sam, tell us about you. What's kind of your background, your story?
Yeah, so born and raised here in Omaha, Midwest, born and raised. Went to prep for high school, just finished at Creighton University right now in the Higher College of Business, getting a double major degree in marketing and management with a focus on entrepreneurship. Let's see, my most proud thing I've done while at Creighton has been one of the founders and president of the Entrepreneurship Club, which plays perfect into like the 1 Million Cups ecosystem and community. Even this morning, I messaged our group channel and said, hey, I'm at 1 Million Cups this morning. Everybody should come. So a little background on myself, like I said, through the education, been working on building a couple things. My entrepreneurial journey started about two and a half years ago, kind of more formally. I've always known that I wanted to kind of work on this type of stuff.
For sure.
Work in a unique environment and one that, every day is a little bit different. That's definitely something that excites me and pushes me to continue, building and working. So
No, that's awesome. And just in case you all didn't catch it, Sam is really, really smart, double majoring entrepreneurship. So that's awesome. So when did you realize you wanted to be an entrepreneur? You said it excites you, right? Where some people, it would cripple them trying to be an entrepreneur. You kind of build the plane while you're in the air.
Yeah.
When did you realize this was the path you wanted to go down?
Yeah, I would say, funny enough, especially when I was like deciding what kind of majors I was doing and what kind of classes I was enjoying, I was kind of sitting back in my chair and like marking things off the list as I didn't enjoy them. So like I was in my more stereotypical classes, like my accountings, my finances, my BIAs, things like that, which, obviously have their own value and they're positive, and definitely those hard skills are good. But those weren't ones that necessarily, I was excited and looking forward to going to that classroom. I was more looking forward to the end of that class,
Yeah, let's get this over with.
Yeah, 100%. Which like isn't something that I would want to, necessarily pursue. Now, granted, if that's something, I'm open to anything. So let's say down the future, if that's, what God has in store for me, then so be it. All according to his plan. But for now, it's like, no. Like I want, like I said, just every day being a little bit different and having to adjust to the challenges that you face on a daily basis. Like that's those moments where I'm like, okay, this is awesome.
I love that. And it really comes down to energy, right? What gives you energy? What gives you that excitement? For some people, they love accounting. I'm like you. When I was in accounting or like some of those simple business courses, I was like, oh, this is not for me. It used to stress me out. But then you say, build something from scratch. That gave me energy.
Yeah.
So what's your company right now? We talked a little bit before this, but I know you have a lot of things going on.
Yeah. So there's two endeavors that I'm working on right now with two amazing teams. Blessed to have everybody involved. One of them is in the legal tech space. Just a few weeks ago, I was able to present here at 1 Million Cups about it. It's called SHAYK, and we deal with confidentiality. Our differentiator is that we support the evidencing process that actually gives these confidentiality agreements or disclosures actually some teeth to bite on and something to be, scared of. Like if I'm signing a agreement and there's nothing to back it up, or if it's ever broken and there's no way to bring it to a court of law, then why would I have the agreement in the first place?
Right.
So we offer a full suite of services through our online platform, which enables, like I said, the evidencing to support these agreements and things like that. In addition, working on a NIL agency called NIYOU, and we serve athletes and help them partner with either companies or businesses that see the value in sponsoring through either traditional marketing, or we've also done some very fun experiential marketing endeavors. Like we hosted a literal lemonade stand in Creighton's campus where we had our athletes like handing out like custom bottles with custom flavors, and we were recording a video and we were doing photo, and it was just really fun stuff. And like that space in particular is it's unique and it's growing, and it's super fun to be able to kind of mold to it while also like mold it to what we want it to be.
For sure.
If that makes sense.
That's awesome. So it sounds like you have two really cool companies right now that are both in, I'll say, the earlier stages. You're graduating soon. What does that do for you as an entrepreneur? No more class. How do you split your time? Do you see them as separate, or do they kind of bleed together?
Yeah. So when you talk about like the bleed together, it's like, since they're in such different industries, one in the legal tech and one in the, sports marketing, there isn't too much overlap, at least when thinking about like how I'm doing it. Obviously, there's only so many things you can juggle. So sometimes it's like one might have to take a little more precedent one week or vice versa.
For sure.
And then on the graduating front, like it excites me to be done. I was just texting with one of my partners, and it's like, I can't wait I'm trying to take advantage and not take any day for granted, because when school is done, I'm going to miss it. But
for sure.
Like I'm looking forward to, instead of, at 12:30 and at 2 and at 3:30 today, instead of going to classes, I'd be able to, hop on a call with some potential partners or, build out a couple more marketing plays or things like that.
No, I love that. It's funny how you can list out your class time. And I was recently reading a book that talked about relationships and friends. A lot of friends really come from proximity, right? We're going to school together, roommates, etc. How did you find your partners or people you trust? Like I recently launched a company. People think I'm crazy, but I said AI is my co-founder. And it's been like probably the best partner because it's cheap, never turns off, and it's like a phenomenal thought partner, right? But how did you find really good partners? Like I know Val, and I don't know your other partners, but he's a great guy. So.
Yeah, both sides of the story are cool. So with NIYOU, the original two co-founders, Val and a good friend of ours named Matt, they were in an entrepreneurship class at Creighton. When they were given the task of 8 weeks, come up with a company. And so the company that they came up with was NIYOU.
Wow. So this was like classroom grown.
And then different than maybe some other groups, we decided, okay, this thing can be real. We decided, let's take it out. Let's take it out of this class. Let's go beyond this, 8-week time frame. So I wasn't in that class with Val, but funny enough, I was in like a random like other marketing or management class. And he, for a few weeks, was looking at kind of how I interacted with people, whether it was friends or maybe people I didn't know, how I communicated with them, how I heard them, made them feel heard, things like that. And he came to me and he was like, hey, at that time, they were looking for just another person to bring on to the early founding team, as well as somebody who was in particular really good in relationships. Because we were looking for quick expansion to a larger clientele base.
For sure.
So it was like hey, we want you. We think you're solid. I was like, okay, let me pray on it. Let me talk to my folks. Kind of sought some advice on, is this the right move? What do y'all think? A week later, it was green lights all around. So we joined, and then it's been great ever since. And then it's a little easier with the SHAYK team. At least for me, there was a professor. It's funny how it all kind of leads to Creighton. And that's kind of, I think, one way that university is so you just can't put a value number on it. It's like, I'm now part of two companies just through network effects of the university, right? So there was a professor of mine, he said, hey, there's a company I know and a founder I've invested in previously. He said, you need to talk to him. He's looking for a CEO type in the future, young guy, entrepreneurial driven, stuff like that. We connected, we met, good synergy seemed to work. And next thing you know, we're on that team too. So
Yeah, it's the power of networking. Like you just never know how you'll cross paths or partner with someone someday. So what advice would you give to newer entrepreneurs that are kind of on the fence? I think I want to do it, but I'm afraid of failure and just don't know if it's going to work. So how did you get to that point, and what advice would you give?
yeah. So one good piece of advice, and it's like one that I've tried to ingrain in the entrepreneurship club at Creighton, is that failure is like the best teacher.
Mm-hmm.
You shouldn't be scared of failure. Now, do you want to fail? Obviously not. But sometimes like that failure in whatever area it is can be the best teacher.
Absolutely.
That can point you in the right direction. It can make you pivot. It can teach you something you never would have seen otherwise. So that's one thing when thinking about this entrepreneurial journey, is, nobody likes to fail, but sometimes that can be like exactly what you need in that moment.
Absolutely. And I always tell entrepreneurs, success cannot exist without failure. Just like you can't have light without darkness. Like it's just a part of the process. And as long as you learn, it's really not failure. So that's awesome. I've heard you. Oh, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, and one thing too on that is like the light and the dark, and you have to have failures to wins. It's like it's a roller coaster, and like you take advantage of the ups on the wins, because when you're in the downs, man, those are the worst. But
For sure.
But don't get stuck in those, because the wins will come and the good days will come. So you take advantage and enjoy and realize that you're blessed when you're winning. And then when you're losing, be like thankful for the opportunity to then come back out of it. Because also those days when you either fail or lose or whatever, those are the ones that teach you, like I said, but those are the ones where it's not like you can't quit.
Right.
Because then if you quit, it's over. And what was all this for in the first place? At least that's my perspective. It's like, throwing in the towel isn't an option.
Yeah,
So,
I love that. And building on that, I always tell people you kind of just have to stay here. Like there are going to be the high points when things are going great. But if you're riding that high too high, the second you slip and you crash, it's like the impact is so much more substantial.
Yeah.
So I'll always tell people to like try to stay like even keeled throughout. Sam, I've heard you mention 3 times now your faith, being blessed. How has faith played a part in your journey, whether it's an entrepreneur, a college student, just as a person?
Great question. Faith is like the most important thing. I'm nothing without it, It's played a big role in the entrepreneurial journey. Thankfully, some of my partners are strong believers as well, and that's always great to be around individuals that are like-minded and stuff like that, share the same faith, because then you're on the same page when it comes to, let's say, bigger values or things like that. Also, it can be big on like motivators and knowing, maybe what you're doing all this for. And so when it comes to school, it's played an effect, interestingly enough. So I'm finishing at Creighton. Started at Creighton, but there was a time where I was completely out of Creighton. Funny enough, after my freshman year, I was registered for classes at another university. I totally thought I was gone. In my head, I was like, I got to transfer. This isn't my place. I need to, change the environment, change the people, change whatever. And I attribute it to a God moment. There was a moment, literally like 3 years ago, where I just was torn and was kind of broken down. And I call it a God moment. And it was like, I know you got to stay. Like, this is your spot. This is where you're supposed to be. You have like so much more to do. And a great example is like through this entrepreneurship stuff. If I went to where I was thinking I was going to go, where I thought I wanted to go, where I thought I needed to be, I wouldn't be a part of 2 companies. I wouldn't know all these people. We wouldn't be sitting here right now, So that was a fork in the road where, from my perspective, it was no doubt a God thing. And listening to God's plan is really important. Ever since kind of that fork in the road where I decided to stay here, a mantra of mine has been God's plan over mine, because my plan will fail 11 times out of 10.
Yep.
And, his blessings are so much more than I can even imagine. So I just need to do all that I can and all that I'm called to do. And, I hope I can reap those positive blessings.
Well, I love that. You're really speaking my language. I'm a man of faith as well. And I totally agree. Like, you think you have a plan, you think you know it's going to work, and then things just don't work out the way you expected.
Mm-hmm.
But it taught me that the puzzle pieces of life only fit together in retrospect. You know, you live life and then you look back. In the moment, it sucks. But then years later, it's like, that's why that happened, or that's why I'm still here.
That's why that failed. That's why that didn't go. You know, and even that failure thing. It's like, I think God can definitely use failure for sure. Like, or a loss. Like, you weren't like, your time isn't to win right now.
Yep.
Your time will come, and it's there, and all you have to do is, you know, keep showing up every day, doing, like I said, what you're called to do. But yeah, it's wild stuff, and you got to, you know, yeah, it's awesome though.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I remember I played basketball in college. I went to Midland University, and I flat out had a coach tell me I suck, not good enough, and I quit the team. Massive leap of faith. 2 years later, we went on to win a national championship. So it was like, in that moment, I thought my world had crumbled, but really God was setting me up for something so much bigger that just couldn't have predicted. And it really is a Cinderella story.
Real quick, I'm gonna flip the script here. Tell me about what you've been building, just briefly, if you can. I'd love to hear about it.
I love it, and that's why I love not having a script when we do this. It's like you just go. So I am building a company called Ento Dynamics, ENTO. It means inner in Greek, and everything is AI enhanced development. So you want to be an entrepreneur. All right, what are your strengths? How can we help you get better at that? So we have a very simple framework called the performance flywheel. It's who, how, and where. Who are you? We use an assessment called the BIA character strengths. It's all about your natural ability. Who are you? And then how. There are a couple different assessments we use. How do you perform best? And then where do you want to aim it, right? So do you want to be an entrepreneur, an accountant, a doctor, a better parent? And that's really what it comes down to. You're younger than me, so I know like this is true for you as well. But you think about the .com bust in the early 2000s. We were too young to take advantage of the internet, right? Everyone was so excited and eager about the internet, but we couldn't take advantage of it. Some people built Facebook. Some people just wanted to get on MySpace, right? AI is that new opportunity to where it's like, the sky's the limit. We don't know how people are going to use it, what you can build with it. So I view it as that next opportunity of development, professional speaking, entrepreneurship. The sky really is the limit.
Totally. I agree. I think AI will be interesting because obviously it's, you know, seeing it 2 years ago, a year ago, when, you know, a couple more tech-enabled professors were even saying like, hey, you got to check this out. Like, this will be big, or this will be useful. Just give it like even just a little bit more time to learn and get smarter. And I think about it, like you said, it's like you can either use it and either stay on par with everybody else or even get ahead, hopefully, or you can not use it and just like, you're tossed to the wayside.
Yeah, you're behind.
You either got to get on or you're behind, you know, it's
for sure.
It's going to move so fast. So
yeah, it is moving fast, and I'm kind of a lunatic. I asked AI, like, how do Elon Musk and Sam Altman use you? Gave me some really good feedback. So it's just like, I'm thinking about some of the best entrepreneurs. How are they using you? And they're obviously on a different level right now. I think you'll be there someday, and so will I. So well, cheers to that.
Yeah.
But, man, what's the future look like for you? What are you aiming for? Where do you want to take your companies?
Yeah, so right now with graduation knocking on the door, it's kind of a fun and unsettling time. You know, when you get asked that question that everybody gets asked is like, what's next? What are you doing? Do you have something lined up? Do you know, so right now it's going to be staying in Omaha for the time being. We're going to continue working on this stuff. We're on expansion mode on both projects. Trying to get that legal tech, get its clients, get some customers, and obviously, you know, with the scalability of online SaaS, it's endless. So hopefully getting that out there. And then with NIYOU, we're in expansion mode all across the country. So brief, super small plug. We're relaunching our website, so make sure and check that out in probably a month or so. But
That's awesome.
yeah, so that's the plans, and hopefully, with the amazing teams that I'm surrounded by, and God by my side, how can I fail?
I love that.
Yeah.
Man of faith. So as we're kind of winding down here, talk to us about your expansion. How are you growing? Is it through social media ads? I always kind of talk to people and tell them like Google ads are slowly dying down. And it's just because search engines aren't the leader anymore. You can ask AI anything and it's going to be quicker, more precise, and there are no ads compared to like Google. So how are you guys growing?
Yeah, so expansion, when it comes to NIYOU and talking about that, it's primarily just needing some more bandwidth. We have a really solid team, but you can only do, everybody only has the same 24 hours in the day. So we're looking to bring on some new partnership managers, as well as potentially some people to help us with our content.
For sure.
So right now we're interviewing some folks, seeing the right fit, because a big piece of us is like, the buzzword, but like vibe. Like we want to find people obviously that have the resume and the capabilities, but a big piece of it too is just like the feel. Some people like, you can't teach feel, if that makes sense. You can't teach like vibe. That's something you either got or you don't. And then with SHAYK, it's simply just marketing. It's simply trying to find these customers that want to help us build. We're looking specifically in that B2B space, obviously. And we're looking to a hope too that we're trying to nail down here soon is an enterprise offering, so we can kind of figure out what some of these maybe larger corporations could benefit from us. So any major corporations, we should talk.
I love that. I love that. Man, I feel like we could keep talking for hours, but as we are winding down, how can the community support you? Where can we find you and follow you and track your success?
Yeah. So obviously, just personally, it's just a LinkedIn. That's the easy one. It's Sam Perkinson. And then when it comes to the endeavors I'm working on, if you're a founder or if you're a company that would benefit or would love to experiment in the space of name, image, and likeness marketing, and get some either Creighton or UNO or UNL or hypothetically any college across the country, we have inroads to athletic departments all over the country. So if you're looking to do that, and we know it's experiential, it's something that's like an experiment. So we are loving to help in that space. And follow our LinkedIn there, just NIYOU, and then our website coming out. It's the domain was a little too expensive, so it's ni-you.com. But check us out there. We'll have all our really good information on there, past partnerships, contact forms, etc. And then with SHAYK, it's like I said, we're just trying to grow, nail down some serious customers. If we have a free trial going for every new member, and looking to, like I said, just figure out exactly what we're doing and get customers to a scale that we can't even imagine. And we want to have the problem of too many customers. So
not a bad problem to have.
Customers.
No, for sure. Well, Sam, this has been awesome.
Yeah, this was great.
We'll definitely connect after this, but there you have it. Thank you everyone for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next one.
Thanks.